Today we're going to go through about 15 key items you need to remember for Adobe Illustrator. Number 1, we want to show our ruler in inches. View, Ruler, Show Ruler. Now if you notice, the ruler is in pixels and we want to change that to inches. We're going to right-click inside the ruler and we can change it to inches. Oftentimes whenever we are using our pen tool and we click and hit escape, we have some stray points around our design. So we want to remove those. So we can go to Select, Object, Stray Points. Now to delete them, we can either click Delete or Backspace on our keyboard, and that's all there is to it. We want to create a clipping mask with the USA text. So in my rulers, I can see I've got a small flag, the USA, and a large flag. So I need to make sure I'm on the correct layers. I can click to select my layer, hold my Shift key and select both. Then to create a clipping mask, Object, Clipping Mask, and Make. Next, we also want to add a drop shadow to this design. We can go to our properties. We can click here to open the appearance panel. Or we could go up top and just go and add an effect, stylize, and a drop shadow, and click OK. So we could add that either from the appearance panel here or from the effect menu item. I want to change my gradient color from pink to red. So I'm going to select my graphic and I'm going to click Fill, and then I can click here or my gradient options. So as I can see right here, it has pink. So I can double click on my color. And for this, I'm going to go to my swatches panel and I'm going to use my CMYK red for that. Okay, so I've changed that gradient from pink to red. Now next, I want to create 4 different image traces on the right side. So when I click on my first image, I can tell over here it's the one that's supposed to be 3 colors. So I can go to Window, Image Trace, and I can use a preset. In this case, the preset is going to be 3 colors, and it will create the image trace. And the next one is for 6 colors, so I can use a preset that's already set up, 6 colors, and trace. The bottom left one, however, I want that to be 9 colors, and we don't have a preset. So under the mode, I'm going to go to Color, and then here I'm going to add my custom number of colors, which is going to be 9, and then I can click Image Trace. And finally, on the last one, we want to do a preset of 16 colors. And then finally, I want to collect all 4 of these and put these in a new layer. So over on the right, I'm going to hold my Shift key down and select all 4 of these. And in the top right corner, I can click and I can go Collect in New Layer. And I can name this new layer Image Trace. For step 7, I want to insert a symbol. I can go to Window, so to insert a symbol, I can go to Window, Symbols, and then I need to look in my library. I noticed that this is in the Logo Elements section, so I can click Logo Elements, and then I can see the symbols. If you're not sure what the names are, in the top right corner, you may want to do a large list view, and it will be in alphabetical order so you can see exactly which logos you have. And in this case, we want to click the airplane, and we can click and drag to place the airplane on our graphic board. So again, we would go through the symbol library, the logo element folder, and then click on airplane. Step 8, I want to make the L into a flagpole. So to do that, I'm going to need to convert my text into a shape that I can edit. So I'm going to be able to click my text, and we're going to go to Type, Create Outlines. Then we're going to go to Object and Ungroup. This is also great if you are using a font that is not in the font library. You can use Create Outlines for that as well. Then from here, I can simply drag up and move my flag over a little bit. So now it looks like my American flag has the L as a flagpole. For step 8, when I click here, it's a little bit hard to see because the layer is red. So we want to change that. So what I can do for step 9 is I can double click in this area in between here, and I can change the color from light red to green. Also notice you could also create a template here, lock a layer, or uncheck to not print a layer. So there's several things that we can do with the layer options. So again, you can click in the area to the left of the name of the layer in this area, and you can use that to make a template, make the layer non-printable, lock a layer, and what we just did, change the color of a bounding box. The rest of step 9, we want to apply a graphic style to this star. So we're going to need to go to Window, Graphic Styles, and it tells me over here that I need to look in the folder of Image Effects. Okay, and the one that I want to apply is the one called Drop Shadow with the Highlight, which is this blue one right here. So all we had to do is select our object first, and then go and click the graphic style. Next, working with our text, we want to change the tracking or the horizontal spacing of taking you places. So I'm going to go to Window, and all the way down here to Type, and then Character. So Window, Type, and Character. This lets me know my text size is 45. I've got my line spacing or the leading, and right here is the tracking. So I'm going to adjust that from 0 to 50. And then I also want to change the color to be white. So I can click on my properties, click once on my fill color, and go over and check that. So now I have that text white, and I have adjusted the tracking. Next, number 11, we want to adjust this star so there are no rounded corners. To help you understand this, on the side, I'm going to do the opposite first. So I want to go and draw a star tool. Again, I can double click and draw my star. So now I have my regular star. To adjust the rounding of the corners, I'm going to use my direct select arrow, and I'm going to select my first one. I'm going to need to hold the shift key because if not, this will only adjust one. So I'm going to hold my shift key and select all of the live corners, and then I'm going to go and adjust those by 0.25. So now it actually looks more like a starfish than an actual pointed star. So now we're going to kind of do the opposite over here. We're going to go to our direct select tool. I'm going to select my first corner. I'm going to hold my shift key and select the other corners. And this time I'm going to drag outward. So now these have pointed corners instead of rounded corners. Step number 12, we want to flip the plane so it faces the other direction. I can select my symbol, and then here in the Transform panel under Properties, I can go and do my flip. That's a lot quicker. Another way I could do this is I could go to my Object. I could go to my Object, Transform, and then I could rotate, reflect. But I think if you're just flipping, it's a lot easier to do it straight in the Transform panel. When I look up here, I can tell that this is being saved in RGB, red, green, blue, for a monitor or for a website. But I want to be able to print this, so I want to change the color mode. Step 1, I need to go to File, Document Color Mode, and change it to CMYK. Now I may also want to change the resolution or the pixels per inch with that. So from there I can go to Effect, Document Raster Setting Effect. In this case the resolution, I'm going to change it from high to medium and click OK. We're almost done. I want to change the size of these 3 pictures so they can fit. Right now, these are 4 inches by 2.666. So if I change this to be a width of 3 inches, my height does not change. I'm going to Control Z and undo that. So instead, I want to lock my aspect ratio, so that way when I change the width to 3, the height will automatically change to 2. So again, I want to change my width to 3 and height to 2. So if I lock the aspect ratio, it will automatically change these. And then the last step is I want to click the pictures and place them here under the USA. And then I will want to make sure that I go in and align these evenly. Now I've got my smart guides here, so that way I can kind of tell my spacing. As you can see, deliberately these are not even. So I'm going to hold my Shift key, select all 3, and then under my Properties panel, under Align, I can click Vertical Align Center. And now these are all aligned. So as a quick review, we showed the ruler. We removed extra points by going to the Select, Object, Stray Points, and then clicking Delete. We created a clipping mask with USA and a drop shadow. On the right side, we created 4 different image traces. Step 7, we added a symbol from the symbol library. Step 8, we created our text into an outline, so therefore we could edit each letter individually, just like a character. We changed a layer color, and we applied a graphic style to the star. We changed our tracking and changed our color of our text. We adjusted a star so there are no rounded corners. We flipped an image, and finally we changed our color mode and aligned and edited some images. Thanks for staying for another tutorial from Southern Lee High School. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.